what you can do. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. I ain't got no time for romance, but baby I don't want to lead you on. Now I'm looking for something steady, not ready for that. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine, or show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine, or show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making,
Let me level with you, let me be in your crew. I just wanna be free, be with people like me. I'm so not in the mood to be broken and blue. I just wanna go dance, baby find me some romance. I don't wanna talk tonight, I don't wanna waste another night. I just wanna hit the floor, maybe somewhere I haven't been before. I don't wanna kill the vibe, I don't wanna feel it if it don't feel right. I just wanna break the ice. There's so much more to life than tears. There's so much more to life than fears. All I want is a night off, all I need is a night off. All I want is a night off. Ooh. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Do it my way, do it my way, do it my way. Free from the pain, free from the pain, free from the pain. A night off, a night off. I could use a new friend, I don't wanna pretend. You just get who I am, almost feel like we're fam. Think it's time that we try something money can't buy. You and me should go dance, maybe find us some romance. I don't wanna talk tonight, I don't wanna waste another night. I just wanna hit the floor, maybe somewhere I haven't been before. I don't wanna kill the vibe, I don't wanna feel it if it don't feel right. I just wanna break the ice. There's so much more to life than tears. There's so much more to life than fears. All I want is a night off, all I need is a night off. All I want is a night off. Ooh. Take it away, take it away,
know the reason why we chose to say goodbye, but I can't help my feelings. Right now, I can't deny you never left my mind, and now my heart is bleeding. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was just a young girl living in a dream world. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. When I lay down at night, I miss you by my side, telling me about your secrets. I dream and fantasize that I come by your house, telling you about my regrets. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was way too shallow, my mind was way too narrow. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day.
EUCF 2023 here from Wrocław, Poland, on a beautiful sunny morning at this wonderful sports complex. My name is Lou Burgess, and I'm joined alongside Benji Rees for this opening mixed division matchup between Zoom Ultimate from Turkey, first ever Turkish team to qualify for EUCF, versus FRuB from Germany.
I'm very, very excited about the fact that we've got some new blood here at Euros. It's so good seeing teams from that we've not seen much, from Ultimate Nations that we haven't really seen much of, making their debut bow on the European stage. And they've been building for this right from the start of the season, and it's actually their second trip to Wrocław this year because they're in attendance for the spring invite here way, way back at the start of the season, where these two teams actually had a matchup.
They did indeed. FRuB got the best of Zoom on that occasion. Zoom claimed they were a bit tired and a bit short on numbers. This event, however, they can't use those excuses. This is the first round of the tournament, and they also have more numbers. But talking to the FRuB captain at the start of this game, he was sounding confident. But they can't take Zoom for granted just because they beat them earlier in the season.
No, the scoreline in that game was 13-5, and as you mentioned, it came at the end of quite a long Saturday, and I feel like, yeah, the Turks will feel they can give a better account to themselves here.
Indeed. Well, FRuB coming out on offense. They won the toss and chose to start. Just playing some Standard vertical stack down the field so far. Zoom look to be doing a little bit of surrounding on it, but FRuB doing a good job of keeping the defenders active. They can't rest too long and survey the field and try and get that poach block. Play just slowing down a little bit now. A few cuts isolated at the back, but nothing comes of it. Nice little upline dish. Raiden out with the disc. And FRuB moving it nicely around the front of the end zone. Just eating up the yards, slowly but surely. Not looking too flustered at this point. The captain at the start of this game did say he thinks it'll take the first half of both these teams to really figure each other out and make something happen on defense. There's a miscommunication. And Zoom with the first break chance of the game on the first point.
FRuB had been so methodical up to that point, and yet just a miscommunication in the end zone means it all comes to naught.
So let's see what Zoom have got for us. Their vertical stack is incredibly deep. They do find that first centering pass. Deep shot. Brought down nicely by Agnesi, who immediately pumps it deep. It's floating. And despite the defensive pressure, Zoom do come down with it. Idil Yake with the grab. And Zoom get their first point and first break of the game.
That is so important to get off to a hot start. You know, you never want to come to make your debut at a tournament like this and then get off to a slow start, and you kind of, maybe those doubts begin to creep in a little bit, but no such problem to be had here with Zoom getting a break on the game's first point. That is some way to announce yourself on the big stage.
The ultimate community in Turkey will be proud of that one. A growing community over there. I'm lucky enough to have a couple friends playing Ultimate in Turkey, having visited London for studies and then gone back. Hopefully they are watching and enjoying the coverage here.
Certainly that's a decent start.
Well, FRuB said that they couldn't take Zoom for granted. And Zoom just showed us why. Like to see FRuB play with just a little bit more intention on the disc this point. Short pull, not making it to the brick mark. Conditions here are pretty still. There's a slight breeze coming from behind the camera towards the far side. Upline pass. Now FRuB trapped on that sideline. But they just march it down and punch it into the end zone. No problem, Benji.
Being on the sideline is not necessarily a problem if you could just continue to work it down methodically, as FRuB have done, and that seems to be the kind of calling card for their offense so far. It's not about the big play, it's about working through the phases and slowly, just calmly marching the disc almost down the field.
Yeah, and on that point, they didn't hesitate to try and eat up the yards when the opportunity arose. Even though the field was pretty narrow, that did not faze them. So that's probably what they were hoping to achieve on the first point, but Zoom managed to slow them down enough to eventually cause an error. But it's good to see FRuB didn't let that get to them. Just came out on the next point and punched in the goal.
Yeah, we're going to see the first O-line of the weekend for Zoom. I bet they're itching to get out there.
So vertical stack for Zoom's O-line again. That's quick movement and an immediate deep shot. But the disc sails harmlessly out of bounds. Agnesi, who got that block and assist on the first point, unable to make anything of that deep cut. The throw leaving a little bit to be desired.
I love the idea to try and stretch it deep, put the threat of the long ball in your opponent's mind, but the execution did leave a little bit to be desired.
I'm sure we'll see Zoom clean that up later in the game, but for now, we get to take a look at FRuB's D-line offense. Just working it down that far sideline for now. Oof, almost the poach block, but FRuB maintain possession. Receiver streaking deep, but it's holstered and then thrown again later. That often doesn't end up working out too well, and on this occasion the throw was slightly too far wide for Andre Laubert. Zoom with another chance to hold. And they go for the deep shot again, same target, and what a grab that is. Agnesi is a tall individual, snatches that out of the sky and calls the timeout after a few seconds of not liking what he's seeing on the field.
Yeah, he boxed out well, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the in-play timeout, but he caught it, and there was not a huge amount of support for him. And I think just, again, maybe settle your nerves a little bit, see if you can get something drawn up, even if it's just a little dump backwards, just to get things in motion. It's a play that seems to make a lot of sense to me. One apiece early in this game. This is mixed action from Pool A. FRuB are the second seed in this pool, Zoom the fourth seed, Reading are the number 1 seed, and rounding up the pool in the middle there, the third seed in the pool is Savage Ultimate from right here in Poland. The way the format works is the group winner qualifies automatically for the quarterfinals, while the second and third place teams play a little crossover for a chance to make the top 8. So if you can pick up a win somewhere in the pool, you stand a pretty good chance of getting into the bracket tomorrow.
Indeed, and we'd expect Reading to come out comfortably on top of this pool, but they do have to win those 3 games. The other 3 teams, however, there could definitely be some reshuffling. That second and third spot, all important. Both teams looking to make it out of the group. I think even though Zoom are seated at the bottom of the pool, they believe in themselves. They think they can pick up at least 1 win to make it through into that bracket.
So coming off the timeout, just having a quick look at what the setup seems to be. It's looking like a slightly diagonal stack set in the end zone. And FRuB trying to scramble this a little bit and surround to take an instant deep break side option away.
Yeah, we've got 2 players on the open side, 2 players on the break side, 1 player just outright poaching in the open side in the end zone, and then match on the dump. So let's see what Zoom can do. Smart working the disc around the back to begin with. Scuba over the top, very nice. But FRuB are standing strong, and the quick disc movement not working out on that occasion. And again, another miscommunication. And FRuB get a chance to get that break back. Immediately punching it deep. And nicely run down. Jennifer Krulich with the grab in the end zone. And FRuB get the break back and take a 2-1 lead.
That'll hurt a little bit for Zoom because didn't want to rush things, took the timeout, and they were moving the disc a little bit, and then just everything compressed towards the front of the end zone. They couldn't find a way through. FRuB got the turn, and then while they're in transition going back the other way, the deep shot comes, and it is a really nicely placed deep shot as well. As you mentioned, Jennifer Krulich is on the end of it, and that puts FRuB in front for the first time this game. We're back on serve at 2-1.
So course, we are playing the ABBA gender rules, and at the start of the game, Zoom won the toss to choose the opening gender ratio and chose for male matching. So given that this is the 4th point of the game, we are back to 4 male matching, but this time with Zoom on offense, as we are on serve. Well, hanging pull. The defense is down there on the catch, which is exactly what you want from your defensive pull plays, forcing them to reset. Now we saw that disciplined vertical stack from the first point. A lot more movement at this point, but that disc is too far. FRuB get it back, immediately shoot it deep, and bring it down. Comfortable catch in the end zone in the end. And a quick break back for FRuB.
I feel like there's something, they've seen something there that they want to exploit. Maybe they went back and kind of picked over that the time these teams played at the spring invite early in the season, and they felt that maybe the Turks had a little bit of a weakness on the turnover sometimes, and that's twice now they've exploited it by utilizing those deep strikes. And once more they are bang on the money and extending their advantage now. It's again, there's still a lot of game to be played, but after some early jitters, it seems like the Germans have begun to settle into it a little bit.
I'm interested to see what Zoom have got for us on offense, because so far they've really been trying to force that deep shot to Marmer Ignitsi, but hasn't been as successful for them as they might have liked. So let's see what they can do on this occasion. Again, their vertical stack's very deep. Managing to complete some passes, gaining some ground. But that's a throw straight to a defender. FRuB unable to immediately capitalize with the first throw score. Have to work it between their players a little bit more traditionally. Werner with the disc. And just overthrows Sonia Boringer. Keeping the disc straight back to Zoom. A blady deep shot once again, looking for Agnesi, but the throw. There's a foul on the throw.
That might explain why it kind of bladed so early, and I get them wanting to take Moemra Kinchi as a deep option, because it's been pretty reliable there, but yeah, the throw didn't really give him a chance, and maybe a bit of a bump on the mark as he threw that maybe explains why.
Yeah, the disc did not come out of the hands looking even remotely like it was going to get to Mitchie, but we are back underway, and Zoom opt to go backwards. Staying a bit more spread out than we saw in the first few points. Once again, that's a throw straight to a defender. FRuB give it right back. Both teams just not settling into this point. Looking a bit rattled.
No, FRuB had the advantage of the interception there, so they could switch right over to playing offense, but I think that time they maybe just got a little bit too greedy. Feels a little bit harsh, but you see what I mean? They saw the space and they saw the receiver trying to cut there, but they probably didn't see the field as a whole.
No, the idea was good, but the execution did not work out for them on that occasion. But they do get the disc back after yet another Zoom mistake. Renner comes near side. Nodel. Lauber. High throw, just about towed inbounds. Looks off the immediate shot into the end zone. Renner once again goes wide. From staying patient. Just a few meters outside now, not quite in yet. Still counts rising though. Slight bailout option had to be taken, but so often in these end zone situations, the shot straight down the middle is more open than you think it would be.
And when you get to that high stall, you just got to go for it, to be honest. And you've always got to be aware of that kind of clock ticking. And there comes a point where you just got to let it go and see what happens. And Lauber kind of probably also has that recognition of it as well. And Gorelic is able to get it off in time. Lauber answers the call, and FRuB make it 4-1. And Zoom taking their second time out of the half, I think, here, Luke.
Yep, looks like it. Sensible decision. And as the players take a quick break, so will we. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Wait. Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it. No, bring it. Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you. Check out our new range of colors and insist on staying warm and looking fresh. Shipping is available after EUCF. Get your fan gear and be one of us.
Yes, he will. The lovely day.
Welcome back to first half action here in the mixed division at EUCF 2023, FRuB versus Zoom. FRuB with a comfortable lead so far early in this first half. They'll be looking to extend it here as Zoom have been making a few mistakes, too many on offense. Few miscommunication errors, few overthrows, almost another one there. They do maintain possession and they go for the plan that they've been going for all game long, which is just jack it deep into the end zone. This time it works out nicely. Fantastic throw, fantastic catch. And Zoom get another point on the board.
Yeah, they know what their style of play is and they're not afraid to utilize it. Getting an opportunity to try and set up the deep shot. This time it was tight to the sideline, but they're throwing it down the center of the field so the receiver gets time to alter and adjust. And they put it in to get back on the board.
Hoglu with the catch. As we get another look at this beautiful throw.
Yeah, putting a little bit of air underneath it, and that time just taking the size mismatch in the deep space, and Ulash Nuholu makes it 4-2, so they're still trailing by a couple, but again, getting themselves in a position to try and mount a comeback.
Really good pull, landing at about the brick mark level and on the sideline. Defense got down there in time as well. Zoom will take it, forcing FRuB to work it around the back a little bit. But still, vertical stack offense versus one-to-one match defense. It looks like FRuB have gone back to their tried and tested style of marching the disc down the field, taking the yards as they come. Goal centres, and shot to the end zone. Not quite in, but the next one is. And FRuBB looking comfortable to get their 5th point of the game.
Kurilic has been a very effective and influential offensive presence for them. That's her 2nd goal, and she's notched an assist as well. And for a large part of that progression down the field, you've got the 2 handlers. They're just taking the swings if they're there, and if they're not, they'll set the front of stack a little bit further forward than the other players and create a little bit more space, so they've got room to come off the front and then almost weave it in a way. This one, they're just putting a bit of air underneath it towards the break side, and the continuation cut. The throw goes out nice and early and sits in that space where Kurilic makes it 5-2.
So FRuBB maintaining that advantage. Not giving Zoom a look in. Both teams have made plenty of mistakes so far this game. We've had a few points that got a little bit, both teams getting a little bit flustered, but that timeout seems to have settled the nerves. Again, fantastic conditions here for playing Ultimate, both atmospherically and underfoot. The grass is lush and green. Haven't seen any players slipping about. Again, Zoom with a very, very deep vertical stack, this time with 3 handlers at the back, looking for a dominator-style offense, but now they go back to hitting the cutters, and a deep shot goes up. Once again, Zoom know how they like to play, and it works out once again. Nuhoglu with the catch. This time it was Eknisi with the throw.
They need to find a way to stop this Zoom deep game, because if they don't, the Turks are just going to keep releasing it, and you know, when it's worked for them as frequently as it has in the opening stanza of this game, you can see why they do it.
So I think Akinci has been more effective as a thrower than as a receiver so far this game. He had that one very nice high grab earlier and then called a timeout that resulted in a turnover, but the 2 times that he's shot to the end zone have both come off. So hopefully we'll see him with the disc in his hands shooting into the end zone more often, because it seems to be working well for them. And Hoglu in the end zone as well, absolute. Causing all kinds of problems.
I'd find something to do to try and counteract that. Whether you just say we're going to continue going match, but we're gonna back you a little bit and force you to go underneath. Maybe you say that we're going match, but we have whoever's furthest back just being a bit more proactive in switching to pick those options. Maybe you dump match altogether and go for a zone. But they've got to try and do something a little bit different, because Zoom are thriving off that deep game.
Well, FRuBB's turn on offense. They're eating up the yards comfortably once again. Centering pass to Danu. And deep shot goes up. It looked a little bit low, but it was just about high enough to get over the Zoom defender. And another confident score for FRuBB, maintaining their lead.
Laubert again, his 2nd score of the game, and I'm with you. I thought that was a bit flat and a bit zippy, but in the end, proved to be exactly the throw that was required. Didn't hang it and thus give the defenders a chance to close in, but just a frozen rope down that far sideline for the score.
It's good to see FRuBB play with a little bit more aggression. Go for those deep options. Not lulling Zoom into some sign of false sense of security that they can just play tight match, no unders, and eventually get a block. They have to be afraid of that deep game as well.
And even if it doesn't necessarily come off, I feel if you show that you are willing to stretch the field, then it just does naturally create more under space. even if they haven't been coming off, I think as a defender, you just feel like you can't keep letting them have it, because eventually you give them enough opportunities, they might make it work, and when they do, it builds them with confidence, and they feel like that makes them more likely to hit on future shots as well. And yeah, if you can stop them ever getting off to a start in the deep space, I feel like that's a much better option than letting them get on a roll.
And also, if you can score more quickly, then the other team's O-line has to get back out there. Your D-line gets out there, gets another chance to make a break, and they have opted for a zone this point, Benji, as you potentially suggested, but I'm not sure what happened there. FRuB appeared to have the disc, though. Not anymore. It was a wasted opportunity.
I think the turnover came from the big man, Blechler. He's a very long figure to get in the front of that defense, and he just causes so much mischief on the marker in the cup. But yeah, they tried to take advantage of him utilizing that length and wingspan deep, but they just zipped it way too far out of reach.
Another overthrow for Zoom. Giving the disc back to FRuB. And this time they're looking to play with a little bit more composure. Almost a poach block, but the disc does sneak past into the end zone. And the zone gets the goods. FRuB extend their lead.
I think that's what you like to see, is that teams kind of, obviously you come into the game with a plan, what particular style you want to play, maybe things that you've workshopped in the build-up for specific opponents, but you need to be able to change and adapt on the fly, see how the game is playing, and make any adjustments required. And maybe in the previous meeting they felt that, you know, actually the deep game wasn't as much of a threat, but in this game certainly it has been. So how can we counteract that? We'll put some zone on, we'll try and force them to work it through. And the first one was just a little dish that didn't come off, and then that time just floated one over the top that the defender read and picked off, and they came mighty close to getting it back. Zoom, they weren't able to do so, and that brings FRuB within 1.5.
And another timeout has been called, so once again, we'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for the next point after this.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans, and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Welcome back to the first half of the first game of the mixed division here at EUCF 2023 from Wrocław, Poland. FRuB looking to take half in style with a break. Zoom looking to claw their way back into this game. FRuB have looked dominant so far. Zoom going to their playbook. They know how they want to play. And once again, it is the number 3 shirt of Malma Eknici in the end zone with the score. And that'll do it for Zoom.
I mean, we've talked about it already frequently in this game, and we're still in the first half, that if you give them the deep option there, they are going to capitalize on it. And again, they're trying to flood the front of that defense and not really give the lane to throw through, but they just left too much space up through it up front. The disc is banged right the way through it, and Mohamed Akinci comes up trumps in the end zone again. That's a goal and assist and a block already. So even though the game might not be quite going to plan for Zoom, some of their players are kind of making their presence felt out here.
Yeah, the last few times when they've tried to find McKinchie in the end zone, the throw has left a little bit to be desired, and he wasn't able to come down with it. That time, it's working out for him though. High floating pull, getting just beyond the break mark. Interesting choice to leave that one. It looks pretty catchable, but I respect the decision to go for the safe play. Zone from Zoom. It works for FRuB. Zoom trying to show them a taste of their own medicine, perhaps. Although Zoom have been the team which have had the deep game that needs to be shut down. FRuB have been very good working it through the defense, but that's just a stone cold drop.
Yeah, the throw's a little bit behind. You'd want to be ideally leading the receiver a little bit more there, but surely a catch that I think Fiedenau will feel like she could and maybe should have made.
So short field for Zoom. Huge opportunity to get themselves right back in this game. Been a bit stuck here though, still counts rising. Lead pass is snatched down. EC just working it between themselves in the backfield. There's a shot towards the end zone though, an immediate dish back. You'd love to see it. High shot into the back of the end zone is brought down. It looked a little bit spicy, but in the end, it was uncontested.
Yep, Zoom obviously more than capable of dealing with the heat, it seems, because I'm like you. When it went up, I saw what they were going for, and it was a little bit of a heart-in-mouth moment, but evidently they had the faith, and you could see why. Just going with the zone, it felt like it wasn't necessarily forcing too much pressure, but again, just changing the rhythm of the game, getting the opposite team a little bit off kilter, force the error, and Zoom in a slightly unorthodox fashion, perhaps, able to take advantage. I think he's trying to lead this a lot more over towards the far side. You can see the receiver beginning to come into the picture there, but actually a very good adjustment by in the end zone to lead to the goal. I think it's Idil Yakai with the score.
Yeah, when this went up, I could see the towering figure of Eknichi in the backfield, potentially going for that disc, but got beaten to it. So 2 points in a row for Zoom. The timeout doing wonders for them. Perhaps FRuB were just a bit too relaxed going into that zone point.
Potentially a good opportunity to see if they can potentially close this gap a little bit further before going into halftime.
More zone from Zoom. FRuB look to be just a little bit more active this point. Throwers making sure to keep the disc moving, whereas on the previous point they looked a bit too relaxed.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment.
It's working for them so far. They're eating up the yards. Zoom forcing them back. Oh, and the shot through the middle just sneaks over the hands of Bologna.
I don't think it was a bad option, but as you mentioned, just somehow didn't go to hand. There's the deep shot that Zoom love.
Oh, what a grab! I thought he went up miles too early, but he comes down with it. What a ridiculous play.
All aboard Zoom Airways, it seems. They have thrived off that big play, and I totally see why the Germans will take another time out here.
Yeah, Emery Serin with the huge grab in the end zone. 3 in a row for Zoom. And understandably forcing the timeout. Let's take another look at this.
Woof.
Wow.
That is posterizing.
Well, as we catch our breath after that one, I recommend you do the same. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. So it's turning into a bit of a game of runs at this point. FRuB had 4 in a row at the start of the game, and Zoom just got 3 in a row to bring us to 6-7. One more and we get a Galaxy point, but FRuB will be looking to close things out for this first half at least on this attempt. Another zone from Zoom.
And it makes total sense because, you know, you could say that maybe it hasn't necessarily forced the turnovers as much as just playing the percentages a little bit. They're making the pass count a little bit higher, and they're giving FRuB more opportunities to make mistakes.
And mistakes they have been making. All of the turnovers against the zone have been unforced, really. But you have to imagine that the more they get to play against it, the more comfortable they'll be. They just took that time out to perhaps discuss the adjustments they need to make against the zone. They've yet to score against it, so Zoom have got to be feeling confident. They've figured out a defense that can get them turnovers. This is the furthest that FRuB have got up the field against the zone so far. Zoom sticking with the zone, not melting just yet. As FRuB continue to work it around the back. Had that one penetrating pass earlier on.
I don't think the transition to a match defense is ever going to come.
No, and I agree with the decision. It's the zone that's been causing FRuB problems. Just make them throw passes. And at some point, historically in this game at least, they have made mistakes. So, pass count is getting pretty high. Easily the longest possession of this game so far.
Yeah, there's been opportunities to maybe pull the trigger, but you can understand, given their miscues, why they'd be a bit reticent to do so.
So just a few meters outside the end zone now. But trapped on this corner. The zone doesn't really trap the offense on the sideline, so they escape comfortably. But what a defensive stand this is. Continuing to force the pass count, and finally a gap opens up. FRuB stay patient, and they do take half 8-6.
Yeah, up one break, having started out on offense. I still feel like that point's a little bit of a win for Zoom. Yes, FRuB scored, but you could tell that even in the red zone, they were having real problems just getting a real rhythm about it. It was methodical rather than fluid.
Yeah, I agree. The zones essentially is doing its job, even if it didn't generate the turnover. But that will do it for the first half at least. So we get to see a few highlights.
Yeah, this game's still very much in the balance here, Lou.
Yeah, there's that final score, as is so often the case. Unexciting against the zone. But as the teams take a quick break for half-time, so will we. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you on the other side.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Wait. Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it. No, bring it in. Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you.
Second half is underway here in the mixed division of EUCF. Zoom having a bit of a comeback at the end of that second half.
First half.
First half even.
The second half of the first half.
Yes, that's what I meant. Right, Zoom coming out on offense to start this second half. The first half of this second half, as it were. So their deep game was extremely potent in that first half. They've not been able to set up the deep shot just yet, but there it is, coming lady out of the hands and sailing harmlessly into the ground. I think Dennis Peke will be kicking himself for that one.
Felt like he tried to overthrow it a little bit. There was maybe a bit too much baggage in the wind-up, and rather than kind of focusing on throwing it well, he really wanted to rip that one over the top. And I think actually when you're already kind of at midfield, you don't necessarily need to go full tilt at it.
I think he was perhaps overthinking the wind situation. There is a very slight breeze, as I mentioned earlier. It hasn't picked up at all. But yeah, we got a good look of the wind-up, and it looks extremely strong for what was really not that long a throw. Either way, FRuB get their first break chance of the second half. So they work it between the handlers, as they have been doing all game long. Just eating up the yards, and there's the dish into the end zone. Nothing fancy required. Marvin Bletchley with the comfortable clap catch to get FRuB's 9th point of the game.
Easy as that, really. Alina Sturk with the assist as well, and I totally understand Zoom wanting the deep shot because it felt so valuable and so profitable for them in the first half, but you know, you live by the deep game and sometimes you die by it as well, and that unfortunately for the Turks is what happened there. Just didn't get the connection, and then cool as you like on the turn here, the Germans are just, they're taking the sensible options, just keeping the disc moving. It's never really getting onto too high a stall, and simple throw to the big man Bleckler for the score. Feel like after, from the position they were in, they were 7-4 up at one point, FRuB, that to go into half only up 8-6, that maybe felt like they let an opportunity to really kind of pull away slip.
Yeah, Zoom took that timeout and came out all guns blazing. They immediately scored a no point and then played some fantastic zone defense that really stumped FRuBB. But once again, Zoom going for the deep shot. And it is caught in the end zone, just about towed in. There's some discussion, but goal has been called and accepted. Good spirit from FRuBB. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really have a perspective on whether it was in or not from where we were sitting, but the players who were a lot closer to it than we were all seemed happy enough. They just get that cut right down the center of the field. It means the thrower's got a lot of room to aim at, and the defender, he just gets caught looking a little bit too far under it there, Lauber, and it's the captain of the side, Egejonos Chaka, who is able to leap it into the end zone. And again, that's that Zoom deep game we talked about. It's a real weapon for them, and I love it.
And they set that deep shot up from a position that it didn't really look on. But they make it work. You can never be sure when they're going to pull the trigger.
And it makes it so difficult to defend. Because you always have to be on your toes, because the second you know, if you're that deepest player especially, the second you switch off, that's when they'll strike.
Deep pull from Zoom. And for the zone again. It's the same zone that we've seen from them so far this game. We've got sort of 2 chases and then an additional third player in the sort of middle position. 2 players out wide and then a short deep and a deep deep.
You can see the plan downfield. They really are trying to split that deep defender and seeing if at any point he's going to switch off, or they didn't pull the trigger, but if they were feeling a little bit more adventurous, the opportunity was there.
There was at least an opportunity to gain a lot of yards, although the throw to such an isolated deep receiver would have left them with nothing else to throw to after that, which is potentially problematic, so they go for the short, easy option instead. I respect it.
Yeah, the wind is picking up ever so slightly, but probably still not really a factor, to be honest.
No, it's very calm conditions here. Almost the layout block on that swing.
The sideline liked it, even if it didn't come up with the goods.
And the first overhead of the game from FRuBB is not collected. That shot, yes, it bounced off the hands, but it was right into the sun.
I was going to say, that's a tricky one to bring down, because even though, you know, it's roughly where it needs to be, and you've certainly got the height mismatch, that, yeah, it's looking right into the sun, and that makes things so much more awkward.
A good low pickup there from Zoom to maintain possession, but they are trapped on the sideline. Not a lot going on, and a turnover is won. Second overhead of the game for FRuBB. This one a little easier to catch, not directly into the sun. And they're going for that fast break offense that worked so well for them in the first half, not allowing Zoom to set up the zone. Not quite in the end zone just yet. And there's the shot for the goal. And despite the mistake on that first hammer, FRuBB do hold their offensive point. But still, Benji, I have to say, the zone is doing its job.
It is causing problems. That one, again, is one of those things that you don't really consider until it comes to bite you, is that throw is coming right out of the sun. And it's so difficult to pinpoint, but this is how they got the disc back. It's just such a tight window. They were trying to squeeze it in down that sideline. And Hegeman, the big man, makes his presence felt, gets the block. helps to open the point by receiving the overhead and gets a cheeky little double happiness as well from the down the line pass from Florian Adam for the score.
So FRuB maintaining their advantage. And Zoom really need to put in every break opportunity they get at this point. They're coming less and less frequently. And FRuB's defense on the turnover is starting to clamp down, particularly if Zoom gets stuck on these sidelines.
In the other match in this pool, in the mixed division at the moment, it is half-time between Savage from Poland and the UK's Reading. Winners of the Elite Invite, of course, earlier in the season, and Reading have taken half 8-6.
So an immediate deep shot from Zoom is picked off by Knodl, but there's some discussion. Defensive throwing foul seems to be the call. So disc has gone back to the thrower. Zoom will thought he was going to go for the same deep shot once again, but Zoom working it down that sideline, and again the sideline is not a friend of theirs at all. They get another turnover after not being able to just immediately throw down the sideline. And FRuB looking to extend their lead. Centering into the middle. A high swing to this near side is incomplete. Anna Weidnow has been so solid for this FRuB side so far this game. That throw was a bit too high. And Zoom take the immediate timeout after the centering pass, which you always like to see if you are going to take a timeout during active play, particularly outside your own end zone. Why not center it first?
Makes some sense. I guess make sure that you can get a completely fresh stall count and give yourself theoretically the best position coming off the timeout, as opposed to putting yourself tight on a sideline and giving your opponent the opportunity to potentially switch the force and see if they can get a trap on. You just give yourself so many more options when you've got the whole field to work with.
Well, timeouts have been going well for Zoom so far this game. Let's see if this one works out for them as well after these short messages.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
So play about to get back underway here in the first half of the second half of the first mixed division round of EUCF 2023. So far this point we've seen a turnover from each team, and Zoom taking the time out to settle their nerves and get things back underway. Immediate shot to the break side is brought down. He's been so dangerous for this Zoom side in the end zone, saving possession for them on that occasion. See him looking for a deep option there, but nothing available. So he streaks deep himself. Disc is put up, but that was a difficult throw to come down with. Tried for the greatest, but
fair play for taking it on. Just to think, leaning a little bit back and the weight's not in the right place on the throw, and thus tilting the front edge of the disc up too much, and that means that when you release it, it gets that float on it, and it takes that edge and trails out of bounds.
So another break chance. FRuBB. This near sideline is Knoll. This is the centering pass. FRuBB once again just working around the back. Staying patient. Centering pass to widen out. Finds Wynart down the far side. And continue to work it down that far side. Kuklitz. Back to Ostertag. Wynart. High throw to this near sideline. This time it's brought down. And Werner pops the disc into Wynart for the score.
It feels like there's been a couple of opportunities in this game where FRuB have had the chance to really pull away and just get a lot more comfortable in this one. And every time it feels like they might have done so. Zoom have found a way to force their way back into it. But there's only so many times that can happen before eventually you are able to just kind of escape away into the distance. Be interested to see if now FRuB are able to put the foot down and create that gap, or whether once more Zoom have, can demonstrate the fighting spirit, that sparkiness that they've showed in A, in this game, and B, in qualifying to be here in the first place. And just find a way to, again, close things up again.
Yeah, as we said earlier, Zoom are the first ever Turkish team to qualify for EUCF out of a growing ultimate community over on the southeastern side of Europe. But FRuBB are a talented side. Of course, they went to the World Ultimate Club Championships in Cincinnati last year. Didn't finish as high as they liked. They didn't make the 32-team bracket. Finished somewhere around 36th in the end. But this is their first real attempt at EUCF. They're looking to make as deep a run as they can.
What a pickup.
Outrageous grab.
Fair play, like I did not think I was staying up.
Oh, it looked certain to be hitting the ground, but
shows what we know.
Yeah, great athleticism, great reaction. So we maintain possession. We are waiting for the deep shot to come. I know it's what they want.
So you spoke about, for FRuB, kind of really trying to make a run at EUCF this year. By winning the spring invite here in Wrocław at the start of the season, they meant that they had their EUCF berth sewn up already, and so they've had plenty of time to try and aim at this all year.
That throw is just behind the receiver, and FRuB immediately go deep. And despite the physicality in the end zone, FRuB do come down with the disc.
Yeah, Blechler was a key cog of the German mixed side this summer at EUC out in Limerick. And that time just taking advantage of the quick turnover, opens the arms, just sits it out there deep, and Hegeman brings it down to continue to burgeon his stat total. Makes it, what, 12-7 now? You feel like this should be FRuBB's game. Not quite done and dusted, but looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're within spitting distance of the win. And with plenty of confidence after a point like that.
Zoom have, obviously the game is not out of reach. They've already improved the scoreline from the meeting earlier in the season at the Spring Invite, which was 13-5 in FRuBB's favour. So obviously games are slightly longer here, I think, so there is kind of more opportunity, but certainly they are playing their opponents closer on the pitch as you get another replay of that excellent adjustment on the catch there from Hegeman. Going to the ground and still able to watch that one right the way into the bucket.
Yeah, excellent focus. So Zoom back out with their O-line. Trying to make something happen after that previous point where they ground the disc, ground out the yards for a little while and then eventually made that unforced error. Looking a lot better at this point though. Moving the disc nicely around the back. Seems to have shied away from the deep game, but that wasn't actually a deep shot. That was just a break side lead pass that was overthrown. Peckel, who's been usually on the other side of the disc for Zoom this game, unable to reel it in. But the centering pass from FRuBB falls harmlessly into the ground and Zoom get a 0-yard possession and immediately punch it in.
And you can tell what it means to them.
Oh yes, they are still here to play. They've not given up.
And why should they? You know, you've worked hard to become the first Turkish team at an EUCF, which is an incredible achievement in and of itself. But, you know, don't just be happy with the fact that you've got here. Yes, you want to kind of drink it in and enjoy it, but you know, you came to win games as well.
And they've gone on a run this game before. They have potential, and especially as we get towards the end of the game, the pressure will start to mount on FRuBB to close it out. And that could be all it takes to push the
deeper you can take it, the more chance you have of maybe having the Germans feel that extra pinch, that extra pressure. But it's a very hot day out here in Wrocław. Just before midday, I'm just going to have actually a quick look at the temperature. I was going to say, I was like, it feels hotter than that, and then I realised that's because that's the temperature back home. Shocker, Wales is not as hot as it is here in Poland. 24 degrees Celsius, but it feels a little bit hotter than that. And it, you know, potentially still could get a tick or two warmer as this goes on. So first game of the day, and you feel like, you know, the Turks probably used to the hot weather, but it does take it out of you. They have more players than they did at the Spring Invite, but still kind of not one of the larger rosters here this week.
No, and a smaller roster than FRuBB by, looks like 3. So at this stage of the tournament, doesn't make a big difference, but the last game on Sunday it might. So Zoom sticking with the zone. Even though FRuB have scored against it, they've yet to really tear it apart. So I like the option.
Yeah, I think that's why you'll see Zoom kind of continue to bring it out as this game wears on. Yes, they've scored, but no, they've not shredded it. They've not scored emphatically, and basically looked confident enough to say to Zoom that there's no point playing that anymore because it's just not going to work.
FRuB continuing to work the disc round the back. As I caught the disc that got macked out the sideline.
I mean, there was clearly the greatest on there. That's disgraceful behaviour, Lou.
I should have macked it back. That was the real 200 IQ play.
What is this, Glasto?
So Zoom with an opportunity to close the gap. High Belady forehand into the middle, and it's a slight lack of focus on the catch. Should get it right back.
It's the most unfortunate spanner there for Zoom. I was going to say there's the expansive blade right the way across the field. I think they're going to think better of it though.
Well, Zoom have set up on defense now. Fast break opportunity is over. Fakes the hammer for a second, but they're only 50% on hammers this game. So I like the holster. Good. Accelerating out of the throw, trying to move this defense around. FRuB staying patient. There's another hammer. This one straight into the breadbasket. Or what would have been massively over everybody else, but the number 27 shirt of Marvin Blechler is pretty tall.
I mean, you've got to pick your receivers, right?
Head height hammer for everyone else. Chest height hammer for him. So despite the break opportunity for Zoom, FRuB are now within 2 of the victory. As I said earlier, Zoom really need to take every break chance they get.
Yeah, obviously we know that there will be a big fan base back home kind of cheering them on, both players from Zoom who could make the trip out here to Wrocław and kind of just other friends in the Turkish Ultimate community kind of, yes, you've been maybe disappointed you couldn't qualify yourself, but you want to see your compatriots do well and kind of show that they belong on this European stage. And I know that there's been a lot of love for Zoom in the YouTube chat, which is always nice to see as well.
Yeah, shout out to all our friends. Shout out to all our friends over in the Turkish Ultimate community. Do hope you are enjoying the coverage, as finally you get to see a Turkish team play on ULTI.TV. We've been very happy to watch them play. Some of the deep shots they've made, some of the grabs, the layout saves. Very entertaining ultimate.
It's been a very fun game. And there's still life in it yet.
So FRuB with the pull. Gets just beyond halfway. Trying to stack once again from Zoom. They've stuck to it all game. Wide open.
I wonder, I think given the communication, it looked like Blechler was trying to switch off, and then there was no one to switch with, and they eventually recovered. Here's a layout block, but there's going to be a strip call, I think. I don't know how it looks on first glance to you, Lou.
It looked close. It's one of those where, I mean, perhaps the replay will be more decisive, but without feeling the pressure of the disc in my hands myself, it's difficult to tell. It's one of those where the disc is between the hands of the receiver, but do they have control or not? Looks like no. So clean block is the result.
Yeah, good spirit, have the discussion and think, yeah, maybe I just didn't have full control, so that one a little bit low, and despite the bid, Adam couldn't get underneath it.
Someone else has to pick up the disc, as Can Dai has walked away from it. So FRuBB looking to put on some defensive pressure, make Zoom work. As the field gets shorter, the deep shots become harder, so defense has a bit less space to cover. More of an idea of what Zoom might be going for. Now run through block. Again, another strip has been called. This one, I think it's safe to say, Benji, we had absolutely no perspective on it.
Agreed. And even if we did, what we think is not important, it's about the players on field coming to a resolution they're happy with. Because certainly there have been times in the booth when I feel like it's been very obvious and there's been, and on field it's been like immediately resolved the other way. And it's just like, well, you can never quite tell necessarily unless you're there sometimes.
In situations like this, you really do need to have felt the disc in your hands. Was there any pressure as you got the block? Any resistance to pull it out of your opponent's hand? Was the disc comfortably in your hand as the receiver? And from the far side of the field with the play happening on the opposite side of the players' bodies, we have absolutely no idea. So strip accepted is the resolution, and we're back underway. FRuBB's defense at this point has been tight. Multiple close blocks. And it's good to see FRuBB coming out here and taking the disc away from Zoom, not just resting on their laurels and expecting a unforced error to come. High pass somehow gets over Blickler. And a blade into the end zone. It was a nice idea, but a very tight, difficult to execute pass.
If they nailed it, it was there, but as you mentioned, high degree of difficulty, just kind of left too much from Bukasolu to do. And another chance for FRuBB to go within one of the win. As the whistle goes over towards our right-hand side, 5 minutes before the cap comes on.
Immediate deep shot from FRuBB. Does not catch up with the receiver, and Zoom getting the disc right back. I have to say, the receiver was very deep when that disc went up. Not surprised to see it come down, and a timeout is called. I feel like we're running out of possible timeouts in this game, Benji.
Yeah, I feel like both sides know that they've got 2 to use a half, and they are more than happy to use them. So, again, just chance for a little bit more thinking time out there on the field for both sides.
Yeah, it looks like both teams need to catch their breath. And as they do that, we will do the same. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
we are reaching the end of this mixed division match between Turkey's Zoom and Germany's FRuB. But Zoom have got some fight left in them. They have the entire nation of Turkey on their shoulders, representing for the first time here at EUCF. In a tough pool. We expect Reading to take the pool, but the second and third place spots that secure at least bracket potential are well and truly up for grabs. Savage from Poland, the other team in this pool. So let's see what Zoom can do out of this timeout. Looking for that reset. He's looked off, and a high break side backhand was chosen. Immediate fast break deep shot from FRuB. It's being run down in the back corner, and it is collected. Nicely done from FRuB. They go within one of the win.
I felt like he could have made that throw a little bit easier, but wonderful closing speed in the end to make sure that he could accelerate right the way towards it, taking advantage of the quick turnover, the fast break, and banging it down the other end. And your target comes through, and just like that, you're on the precipice of a European victory. Feel like FRuB like it out here in Wrocław, having won the spring invite here at the start of the season.
Must be something in the Polish air on this side of town.
By the way, in the other game in this pool, it is currently Reading 13, Savage 12.
That is substantially closer than I thought that matchup would be.
Savage are Polish champions, so not to be overlooked.
Reading, of course, not UK champions.
No, a disappointing result for them at EUCR West / UKU Nationals.
It's fourth place, I believe.
It was, having, of course, won the elite invite earlier in the year, so wasn't necessarily a huge amount of importance on necessarily qualifying, although you still want to have the pride of being national champions.
Yeah, but Reading have a bit of a history of not winning UK Nationals and then doing extremely well internationally.
It does feel like they'd go better away from home soil.
Well, it's all about peaking at the right time. And if EUCF is the tournament they've targeted, looking forward to see what they can do with the rest of the tournament. But for now, Zoom looking to make this game exciting. It's going to have to go all the way to Universe if they want to win it. High blade over the top is not collected. Feels like FRuB have figured something out on defense. They shoot deep immediately themselves. Not quite in the end zone just yet. Travel is called.
Nice gratuitous ground check as well.
Yeah, and I believe that was an incorrect travel, but we'll talk about that later. As the catch for the final score is complete. And FRuB take the game 15-8.
Yeah, comfortable in the end, but especially for the first half, Zoom were right in this game. It just, after the break, it got away from them a little bit, but, you know, for their first game at EUCF, certainly there's a lot for them to be proud of.
Yeah, they made some fantastic plays, showed some real spirit, some real heart in this game, and I'm sure they have a bright future ahead of them. Of course, they're not out of the tournament just yet.
Absolutely not. You've still got 2 more pool games against Reading and Savage, and that game is currently taking place right now. So, yeah, still the opportunity to you know, take a game somewhere there and see if you can find a way to cross your way up into the top 8.
Well, that'll do it for this game, but coming up on this pitch next, we have Clapham versus Bad Skid in the open division, and over on the other pitch, La Fota versus KFK. So stay tuned for those. Make sure you are subscribed to ULTI.TV, have the bell turned on so you are made aware every time we go live. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you for the next one in just a few minutes' time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.